All right, guys. This is the second video talking about trades, keepers. Ignore this ad. I don't know why that's there. So basically, uh, there's been a lot of talk about trading draft picks, and I do want to give the people that are out of the playoffs right now a reason to still check their fantasy app. And I think this is something that we should have. So I'll just start. Draft pick trading had to be turned on at the beginning of the year if we wanted it to be official through ESPN, which obviously we didn't do. This is a very trial year for us. Obviously, none of us have done this before with keeper leagues. Well, at least we haven't. So definitely a trial year. We're working out a lot of the issues. I think we've done a pretty good job so far. I think there's been a fun season. But this is just one more thing that we're now figuring out as we go. So keepers, I know we originally said that you had to keep all three of your keepers for next year in the draft. But we've decided that we're not going to do that. You can keep one, you can keep two, or you can keep all three. You don't have to keep any, actually, if you don't want to, of your players from your current roster. Basically, the way that works is if I want to keep two players instead of three, I will use my first two picks in the first two rounds on those first two players, along with everyone else that's keeping however many players they are. So the first round is someone's keeper. If they're keeping one player, that's everyone's keeper is that first round. Then if everyone's keeping a second player, that's the second round. The third round, say I didn't want to keep a third player. I now get a pick of everyone else that isn't being kept in the third round, other than a player that I wanted to keep. Like if I didn't have three good players this year that I want to keep for next year, I now have the option to pick someone else in place of that. Again, the draft order is opposite of the standings for this year. So like obviously I think Anthony is last place right now, or Zach, I'm not quite sure. Anthony will have the first pick in the fourth round. Technically the fourth round.
If he keeps three players.
If he keeps three players, he will have the first pick in the fourth round.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't keep the third player, he will also get a third round pick to pick of other players that aren't being kept, if that makes sense to everyone. So the way trading your draft picks is going to work, Charlie and I were talking about this before. If you trade a second round pick, you then can only keep one player. You can't, because especially now with doing this the unofficial way, until I am able to turn on draft pick trading next year. When I'm able to do that at the start of next year, this will all be official and we won't have to worry about this. But if you trade your second round pick, you cannot keep more than one player, because then that's going to screw over the person you traded with and it's going to cause a lot of issues. So be mindful of that. I don't recommend trading for a second or third round picks. I recommend keeping three players to keep it stable. If you really don't want to, it's okay. But the league would go a whole lot smoother if everyone kept three players. And then you start trading your fourth round pick, which is technically the first round pick, but it's really the fourth round pick. So if you guys want to trade your picks, if you're a contending team, you want to trade your picks, you have to text me or Charlie with the trade, and we will keep it down in a notes page until next season when you guys can make it official on ESPN and you can make your trades, and then everything will be good and we don't have to do that anymore and you want to text us anymore. But I definitely wanted to give we wanted to give everyone a way to still enjoy this season, and that's the point of a keeper league. There's a lot of, the season's never over. You're really running a team, so you want to be able to make trades all year. And I know we haven't had this element up until now, so definitely start trading picks if you want to. You don't have to, obviously. The keepers, though, again, you're going to be able to keep three. You don't have to. Just want to reiterate that, make that clear. Please don't double trade a pick. If you come to us with a trade and you traded your fourth rounder, and then the next day you made another trade and tell me you traded your fourth rounder again, I'm going to tell you you can't do that. So be mindful of the picks that you traded. If you forgot, just text us and I'll send you the note page or whatever. If you guys have any questions, you can text either one of us or write it in the group me or whatever, because I hate to sound like a teacher, but if you have a question, I'm sure someone else has the same question. So definitely keep that in mind. Power ranking / weekly rankings video should be out by now. So definitely check that out. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. And I will see you guys next week if I could figure out how to stop this. And I'll see you guys.